This is Paul Newman, and if you are seeing this screen, I am hoping to assure you here that the live stream will start. Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me today. As always, it is very much appreciated. You join me on Saturday evening on May the 9th, the day before. It's French Classic Day, the French 1,000 and 2,000 guineas tomorrow at Paris Longchamp, over a mile. But before that, before we take a look at the Classic Watch stuff, I always like to mention my own personal Patreon channel on this station, because this video will be taking a look at a Classic Watch possible that is running and is based in Ireland. But before we touch on the horse, let me touch on my own Patreon channel quickly. Newman Racing, the channel is called. Excuse me. Plenty of stuff on the channel. Mainly, it's the National Hunt Racing, really. It is really the place for National Hunt Racing these days, my Patreon channel. Also, there's plenty of resources on there from over the years that I've uploaded on there that you will all find useful. There's opportunities to support me moving forward on the Patreon as well, if that's something that you are intended to do. It is no way at all compulsory whatsoever. The channel is still open and there is plenty of free content on the channel as well. It's also the place that I do my yearly reviews of horses as well, which is where some horses that might have fallen short or have not raced or got injured, or sometimes if they were even gelded, you know, they slip off the list after their 3-year-old campaign to make way for next year's horses. So hopefully the pool of horses just gets stronger and stronger as we go on. So yeah, Newman Racing it's called, over at Patreon. Why not head over there and see if it's for you? You never know, you might find it useful. Right, on to the Classic Watch stuff now. ClassicWatch26.great/site.net is where people can find this year's edition of Classic Watch 26. People will see if they look at the site is coming together quite nicely now. The Roll of Honour is starting to pad out quite nicely as the UK and really the European-based horses will start to come on the site. We had the UK 1,000 and 2,000 guineas last week, and we also had the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks last week. So yeah, there's the 2-year-old races there. The 3-year-old races are all still coming together quite nicely as well. Hopefully we will be adding more throughout the season. Only the one race in all age races taken out so far. Charge It, winning the listed War of Athena handicap out in the South Africa. But again, as the season progresses, especially in Europe, I would hope that there would be plenty more all-age races containing 3-year-olds as well. 7 theatres at the moment. A couple more this weekend, I should imagine, added to the site, courtesy of France and Ireland. So yeah, classicwatch26.great/site.net. Head over there now if you want to check a look at the Classic Watch 26 horses. Will this horse be on the website at some point? Dorset is the name of the horse. Dorset is a colt sired by Wootton Bassett out of a dam called Snowflakes, who herself is sired by Galileo. Dorset is trained by Aidan O'Brien and owned by Derek Smith, Mrs. John Magnia, Michael Tabor and Westerberg. People will see this horse already. Dorset is entered in the French 2,000 guineas tomorrow, 250 at Longchamp, where he is due to be ridden by Christophe Soumillon, who did such a fantastic job as deputy for Ryan Moore last season when Ryan Moore was injured. Other entries that the horse might be interested in. The horse is also entered in the Irish 2,000 guineas on the 23rd of May, and the horse is also entered in the Irish Derby, which takes place on the 28th of June. So as well as this one classic tomorrow, Dorset is already entered in another 2 classics, and that's without the St Ledger yet. Dorset, the horse, was bred by Snowflakes Syndicate and purchased by Coolmore. So yeah, an interesting horse, Dorset. I think if people look at the form of the horse, they will see that there's bits of this horse's form that give it a good chance, I think. It failed to win first time out, sadly, when I did back the horse. It was beaten a half a length by Amadeus Mozart on his debut, where the horse rode to a mark of 9th, 77, sorry. The horse made no mistake on its second start on the 28th of June, where the horse beat Benvenuto Cellini, a horse that is in the betting for the UK Derby at the moment. And Dorset beat Benvenuto Cellini by 1.5 lengths, running to a Racing Post rating of 94. The horse then turned up at Glorious Goodwood in July as the 13-8 favourite for the Group 2 Prestige Stakes, a race over 7 furlongs. The Vintage Stakes, sorry, not the Prestige Stakes, my mistake. A Group 2 race, but sadly on the day, the horse could only finish 5th of 10, beaten 2 3/4 lengths by Classic Watch 26 Possible Zavateri. But the horse improved again to a Racing Post rating of 99 on the day. The horse was then allowed to take his chance at Group 1 level in Ireland's biggest 2-year-old race of the season at the National Stakes, a race held at the Curragh on the 14th of September 2025, where again, this time ridden by Gavin Ryan, the horse could only finish 4th behind Zavateri, this time beaten by 8 1/4 lengths, running to a Racing Post rating of 89. The horse was looking quite exposed there, it's fair to say, but then Jack Cleary got on board the horse, and the horse had a bit of a reversal in fortunes, it's fair to say, taking its form to a new level. Firstly, the horse won Europe's richest 2-year-old race, the Goffs Million. The race isn't a pattern race, held over 7 furlongs on the 27th of September 2025, when the horse defeated August George by 1 1/4 lengths, running to a Racing Post rating, which was a career best at the time of 103. The horse then backed that up on the 18th of October 2025 by winning his first pattern race, when the horse took out the Group 3 Killervallen Stakes at Leopardstown, defeating Daytona by 1/2 length. Again, Jack Cleary on board, increasing its Racing Post rating slightly to a mark of 104. That was the end of the 2-year-old campaign, really, for Dorset. The horse did come back on the 12th of April 2026, running over 7 furlongs in the Group 3 Red Rock Stakes, Group 3 Guineas Trial, where the horse could only finish 7th out of 11, beaten 5 lengths by the Secret Advisory. I think that horse ran in the UK Guineas last week. He went off 4-1 joint favourite that day, though, and could only manage a Racing Post rating of 96. So this horse has failed to win its comeback start as a 3-year-old in 2026. But the horse has won 3 of his 7 starts and finished second on 1 occasion, 4 out of 7 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £469,170 in his life. Best Racing Post rating so far was the 104 the horse gained when winning the Group 3 Killervallen Stakes in October 2025. Take a look at the horse on the Pedigree online thoroughbred database, and as you would expect, as the horse is relatively fresh and still running, they're up to date 2023. 6 starts. Oh no, they're not, are they? They've missed one. Have they missed one? Yeah, they missed the first start of this year, sadly. So already they're taking their eye off the ball on this horse. And up to date, £582,40708. It's probably a few euros wrong. I imagine the horse would have picked up something for finishing 4th that day at Leopardstown earlier in this season. But everything else is looking good. The Killervallen Stakes Group 3 and the 4th in the National Stakes Group 1. No mention at all that he won Europe's richest 2-year-old race, because it's not a pattern race, you see. Trained by Aidan O'Brien, they are up to date, updated on the 18th of October 2025. They have missed one run of the horse. People will see that if they look at the dam line of this horse, it's 15A. That is the dam line we are interested in on this horse, Dorset. I looked at my list, and this is actually the first horse we've ever chanced on dam line 15A in the Classic Watch project. So let's see what we can find, shall we? What we're going to do is, in the usual fashion, we're going to take a look at the first 5 dams of the horse, and we will pick up any decent horses that we can find along the way. Historically, we'll have a look at the horse as well to see if we can find any clues on there, and we'll also see what Group 1 winners we can find that will fold this century on the dam line of the horse, and then we will watch the horse win 2 races. We won't watch it win its maiden, even though it did beat a fair horse, because it didn't win first time out. We'll watch the horse win. We'll watch the horse Dorset. We'll watch it win the Goffs Million. And then we'll watch it win the Group 3 Killervallen Stakes at the end of the video. Right, let's get cracking, shall we, and see what we can find. The first dam of the horse is Snowflakes, a mare born in 2015, sired by Galileo, out of a dam called Laddie's Poker 2, who was born in 2005 and sired by Choisir. Snowflakes raced 10 times in her career, only managing to win on one occasion, 1 out of 10 starts in the first one, for career earnings of €7,392 in her career. Rather underwhelming effort, it's fair to say, on the track for the horse bred by the Laddie's Poker 2 Syndicate and owned by Mrs. John Magnier and Michael Tabor and Derek Smith. Sold for $525,000 in foal to US Navy flag in 2019. And we know that through her horse Dorset, she is in fact a black type producer. Arguably, we hit the best of this pedigree quite early with Winter, a mare born in 2014, sired by Galileo, out of Laddie's Poker 2. So Winter would be a full sister to the dam of our horse. Winter raced 10 times in her career, 5 wins, 2 seconds and 2 thirds, 9 out of 10 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of €261,251 and £867,663 UK pounds in her career. Very good horse Winter was, going round at 3. She managed to win the UK 1,000 guineas of 2017, and she also won the Irish 1,000 guineas the same year, as winning the Coronation Stakes at Royal Ascot and the National Stakes at Goodwood. She was second in the Group 1 Matron Stakes and the Group 3 Leopardstown 1,000 guineas Trial Stakes. So dual classic winner in 2017, owned by Mrs. John Magnier, Michael Tabor, Derek Smith, and bred by the Laddie's Poker 2 Syndicate yet again. Offspring you'll see there, Lord Canaloa in 2020, twice to Justify in 2021 and 2022. Unfortunately, though, she hasn't really bred anything. She bred one called Falling Snow that won first time out last year at 2 and never raced again. It is a damn line I have been trying to have a look at for quite a while, because Winter was a very good horse, it's fair to say. Let's take a look at Lovelier, a mare born in 2017, sired by Galileo, out of a dam called Laddie's Poker 2 again. So again, we've got another full sister here to our dam Snowflakes. Similar profile to ours on the track, really. 5 starts, 1 win and 1 second. 2 out of 5 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of €49,372 in her career. She did a little bit better than ours at 3. You'll see this horse Lovelier won the Cairn Rouge Stakes of 2020, a listed race held at Killarney, and she was also placed second in the Group 2 Kilboy Estate Stakes, a race held at the Coa in the same year, 2020. She is currently a broodmare in Kentucky, bred by Coolmore and owned by Orpendale, Chelston and Wynett. So another Group 2 placed listed winner there. We're now at the second dam of our horse, Laddie's Poker 2, a mare born in 2005, sired by Choisir, out of a dam called Break of Day, an American bred mare who was foaled in the year 2000 and sired by Favourite Trick. Laddie's Poker 2, very lightly raced horse, 5 starts in her career, 3 wins and a third, 4 out of 5 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £79,305 UK pounds in her career. Laddie's Poker 2 actually did win at Royal Ascot in a handicap, but no pattern race form. The horse was bred by Jerry O'Sullivan and owned by Ladbrokes International Limited, and then Derek Smith, Michael Tabor and John Magnier. The horse was trained by Jeremy Nisida on the track. I think it definitely did win at Royal Ascot one year. It might have been 2008 or 2009, looking at the age of the horse. But yeah, interesting horse, Laddie's Poker 2. I remember it winning at Royal Ascot. The pedigree of this horse, sadly, is what it is. We're going to fly through some dams now, sadly. Break of Day, a mare born in the year 2000, sired by Favourite Trick, out of a dam called Quell Affair, who was born in 1990 and sired by Riverman. The third dam of our horse, Break of Day, is actually unraced. And she was bred by Clovelly Farms in Kentucky and sent to Ireland in her career is all we can find out about her. The fourth dam of the horse, Quell Affair, a mare born in 1990, sired by Riverman out of Ancient Regime, an American-bred mare who was born in 1978 and sired by Olden Times. Quell Affair raced 5 times in her career. She failed to win, finished second on one occasion, 1 out of 5 in the first 2, for career earnings of €12,196 in her career. Quell Affair raced in France, and she did produce a stakes winner called Mayoram, but that only won a listed race. You know, we're looking at a classic video there. Another one bred in Kentucky by Clovelly Farms. But yeah, we're quite thin on the ground when it comes to good relatives, apart from them what we've looked at, really. The fifth dam of the horse, Ancient Regime, a mare born in 1978, sired by Olden Times out of a dam called Katerina, who herself was born in 1963 and sired by Princely Gift. Ancient Regime raced 15 times in her career, 3 wins, 4 seconds and a third, 8 out of 15 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $147,607 in her career. Ancient Regime was a Group 1 winner. She won the Group 1 Prix Morny in France of 1980. She also was second in the Group 1 Prix Robert Papin the same year. At 3, she was second in the Group 3 Prix de Gros Chêne and the Group 3 Prix de Seine-Oise, and third in the Group 3 Prix de Petit Couvert. France's champion 2-year-old filly and England's second high-weighted filly. She was sadly euthanised at Clovelly Farm on the February the 1st, 1998, because of complications from a ruptured bowel. The horse was bred by General Agricultural Services Limited and owned by Robin F. Scully. Group 1 winning 2-year-old as the fifth dam of our horse, 1980. And it's fair to say that we needed it, really. You know, a couple of the dams unraced. We've got Winter, but Winter out of the first 5 dams and the fifth dam are really the only horses that have come up to scratch so far. Historically, well, I'd like to have found a lot more than what I found. I did find a couple of horses. Cricket Ball, a horse born in 1983, sired by Olden Times again, out of Katerina. So this horse would be a full brother to the Group 1 winning fifth dam of our horse. Cricket Ball raced 44 times in his career, 9 wins, 6 seconds and 6 thirds. 23 out of 44 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $563,632 in his career. Interesting horse, Cricket Ball. He managed to win what is now the Group 1 Prix Maurice de Guiche at some point in his career, Group 2 winner. He was. He also won the Group 3 Prix du Maitre 4 times, and he won the Group 3 Prix Reese Orangis as well. The horse was second in the Golden Pecha, a German Group 3 race, over 6 furlongs as well, as being second in the Prix de Yakovlev. The horse sadly died on the 10th of June 2008, bred by Clovelly Farms and a division of General Agricultural Services Limited and owned by R. Scully again. I actually found some evidence on jbis.jp of this horse siring some horses. Cricket Ball managed to sire the winner of the 1999 Prix de Petit Couvert, a race he won himself, a Group 3 winner called Manzor. And the horse also sired there some individual listed winners you will see there as well in France. And he also sired the winner of the 1993 Grand Criterium National, wherever that race was held. So yeah, we know that this horse sired at least 4 individual stakes winners in his career. This is a Japanese site, so this list I'm not really expecting to be complete. But you can see there that there is a record of this horse siring at some point in his career. Hussian is the next horse we're going to take a look at, a horse born in 1986, sired by Alleged out of a dam called Close Comfort, who was born in 1979 and sired by Far North. People see that the sixth dam of our horse, Katerina, is the second dam of this horse. Hussian raced 19 times in his career, 5 wins, 3 seconds and 2 thirds, 10 out of 19 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $151,411 US dollars in his career. Hussian, good horse in his day. Won 2 English Group 3 races, well, one in Scotland, the Group 3 Scottish Classic, and the Group 3, what is now, I think, a Group 2 Brigadier Gerard Stakes. The horse was also second in the Group 3 Cumberland Lodge Stakes in England as well. The horse was bred by Warren W. Rosenthal and owned by Hamdan Al Maktoum. Interesting horse. It did go as a stallion at some point, but I couldn't find any decent progeny from it. But the JBIS did list it as a stallion. Mubtaker, my old mate Mubtaker. I remember this one going round. A horse born in 1997, sired by Silver Hawk, out of a dam called Gazail, who was born in 1985 and sired by Irish River. People see that Close Comfort is the second dam of this horse and Katerina is the third dam. Mubtaker raced 31 times in his career, 13 wins, 7 seconds and 4 thirds. 24 out of 31 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £704,819 UK pounds in his career. Very good horse, Mubtaker, on his day. He was placed in the Arc. He actually ran second in the Arc de Triomphe, the Group 1 race, 1 year. He was also placed in the Group 2 Geoffrey Freer Stakes as well. And the horse managed to win several pattern races. He won the Festival Stakes, a listed race. He also won the listed Fred Archer Stakes, the Godolphin Stakes, the Group 2 Geoffrey Freer Stakes, the listed Steventon Stakes. The horse won 2 Geoffrey Freer Stakes. Actually, the horse won the Group 3 September Stakes, the listed March Stakes, the Group 3 Aldi Troy Stakes at Doncaster. The horse won the Cumberland Lodge Stakes, Group 3, and the John Porter Stakes, Group 3. So, dual Group 2, multiple Group 3 and listed winner, Mubtaker. Another one bred by Warren W. Rosenthal and owned by Hamdan Al Maktoum. Mubtaker was sadly euthanised in June 2006 after he shattered his lower right hind leg in a training accident. Very good horse he was, really. Arc second. You can't knock him. Next one we're going to take a look at is a horse called Scottish Rifle. A horse born in 1969, sired by Sonny Way, out of a dam called Radio Pie, who was born in 1954 and sired by Bright News. What people will be wondering, Newman, what are you going on about this Radio Pie for? Well, people will see that Radio Pie is the 7th dam of our horse, the 2nd dam of Ancient Regime and the 7th dam of Dorset. She's also the dam of this horse here, Scottish Rifle, raced 22 times in his career, 10 wins, 5 seconds and a third. 16 of 22 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of $227,817 US dollars in his career. Good horse. Won the Eclipse, I think. Won the Eclipse, Group 1 Eclipse in his career. The horse also won the Group 3 Gordon Stakes, which is a leisure trial. The Group 3 Westbury Cup, I'm not really sure that race still exists. The horse was classic placed in the Irish Derby of 1972 and also placed in the Benson Hedges Gold Cup, which I think might be the Juddmonte International. I like the way it says etc. after that. I wouldn't want to know what they were. Horse was also third in the Washington DC International of whatever year that was as well. The horse was bred by Woodpark Studs Limited and owned by AJ Struthers. The horse was sent to Czechoslovakia in 1979 for stallion duties, where he sadly died in 1984. Good horse, Eclipse winner and Derby placed, Irish Derby placed horse, Scottish Rifle on our dam line. But there's just not the numbers, is there? Great Eastern, and there's another horse we can look at, a horse born in 1977, sired by Jukebox, out of a dam called Miss Bangkok, who was born in 1972 and sired by Sovereign Path. Great Eastern raced 32 times in his career, 5 wins, 7 seconds and 4 thirds. 16 out of 32 starts in the first 3. Unfortunately, the site chooses not to tell us how much the horse won. What we can say, though, is that Great Eastern won at the Group 3 Prix-Montry in France in 1982. And the horse was also second in what is now the Group 1 Haydock Sprint Cup, Group 2 race when this horse was second in it. And the horse was also third in the Group 3 Cork and Orrery Stakes. Back in the day, a decent sprint that was in the UK. Not sure what race it is now. But the horse, Group 2 placed Group 3 winner, who raced in England, France and the USA. The horse was bred by JLC Pierce. But yeah, once we check it, we can take a look at the horse now on the historical site, historical line, sorry, at bloodlines.net. Unfortunately, people still have to go through the Wayback Machine because of something called an Argo tunnel error is stopping this site from opening on its own domain. People can say you go back to the 1926 Derby winner and 2000 Guineas winner in Ireland, a horse called Embargo, sired by Argosy. That horse is also on this line if people want to go back 100 years. And you'll notice there that it slightly falls off our line as well, sadly. You know, you get to, there's Katerina in 1963, but there is actually no Ancient Regime on it. Despite Ancient Regime winning the Group 1 pre-morning and being France's champion 2-year-old filly, she doesn't really get on the section she needs to be on. But that will be our section on this site, bloodlines.net, through archive.org at the Wayback Machine. But yeah, there's not even really any classic winners there, is there? No classic winners. They're just Mubtaka, Hussam, Cricket Ball, the horses that we looked at. So really, this pedigree is not really perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But if people go back to the horse did hit a bit of form, winning Europe's richest 2-year-old race and a Group 3 race in Ireland as well. So the horse is a Group 3 winner. And it was always one. Once I looked at it on debut, that I thought if they get this to a classic, I will chance it. But because it was a pedigree, I was always looking to get on side. Not so much now. And if I see another one with Vladis Poker 2 in, chances are, if this one falls short, we might not be seeing many more. But like I said, this was the first one that we've tried. I'd like to offer you a lot more hope through Group 1 winners in the fold this century on this damn line, but I could only find 2. And they're both quite far away. Rockfall, a horse born in the year 2011, sired by Speightstown out of a dam called Render, who was born in 2006 and sired by Medaglia d'Oro. This was a good horse, Rockfall. 8 starts in his career, 7 victories, 7 out of 8 starts in the first one, for career earnings of $749,180 US in his career. Rockfall was starting to go down very well. Winner of the Alfred G. Vanderbilt handicap, age 4 in 2015. The horse also won the Group 1 Vosper Stakes as well, and the Group 2 True North Stakes. It was a decent sprinter at 4. Suddenly euthanised after breaking down during a workout at Keeneland on October the 10th, 2015. The horse bred by SF Bloodstock Limited, LLC, and owned by Stoner Street Stables, LLC. Dual Group 1 and Group 2 winner. The other one I can find people might remember, it raced in the UK and Ireland, trained by Roger Varian Defoe, a gelding born in 2014, sired by Dalakani, out of a dam called Dulcash, who was born in 2009 and sired by Pivotal. Defoe raced 22 times in his career, 9 wins, 5 seconds and 2/3, 16 out of 22 starts in the first 3, for career earnings of £809,192 UK pounds in his career. Defoe was definitely a Group 1 winner. He won the Coronation Cup of 2019, a Group 1 race. The horse at 3 also won the Group 3 Geoffrey Freer Stakes and the listed Glasgow Stakes at 4. The horse won the Group 2 Jockey Club Stakes, the Group 3 John Porter Stakes, second in the Grosser Price von Baden and the Grosser Price von Bayern, and third in the Tattersall's Gold Cup. At 5, we know the horse was a Group 1 winner. The horse also won the Group 2 Hardwick Stakes and was second in the Jockey Club Stakes Group 2 race. And at 6, the horse was placed in the 2 Group 2 races, the Dubai City of Gold at Meydan and the Hardwick Stakes at Royal Ascot. So we've got Group 1, multiple Group 2 and Group 3 winner. Like I said, the train horse raced in plenty of countries, but I knew it ran in the Tattersall's Gold Cup and in the UK, and trained by Roger Varian. The horse sadly died on the 29th of July, 2020. The horse bred by Dali and owned by Sheikh Mohammed Abeid Al Maktoum. So yeah, again, I'd love to have found more about this horse, but just them 2 modern winners. What we can do now is we can close down some tabs to save on CPU and take a look at Dorset winning 2 races. But before we even watch these races, the horse had raced 4 times in his career, finishing second on his debut behind stablemates Amadeus Mozart before beating another one of his stablemates, Benvenuto Cellini, on the second start at the Curragh. He was then fifth and fourth behind Zavateri in the Group 2 Vintage Stakes and the Group 1 National Stakes at the Curragh, before the horse turned up on the 27th of September 2025 to contest the Goffs Million, Europe's richest two-year-old race, held over 7 furlongs at the Curragh. We're now in a position to take a look at that race now, and then we will see what we think.
Thereof, in Europe's richest two-year-old race, the Goffs Million, 30 runners over 7 furlongs as they sort themselves out. August George in the centre with Maximum Skepticism, with coming through the lead home straight, followed by Green Soul in the white cap. Handy is the Great Dorset and Mr. Seagull and Punica Granite Tomb and Unbreakable Duke, followed closely by Green Sense. And Stop the Nation is next, and they're followed by Advance 25 as they continue on in the still enough early stages. It's home straight the leader by length to Dorset, Green Soul, Unbreakable Duke and Green Sense. On this side, Mr. Seagull, My Corporate Court and Punica Granite Tomb, followed by Take Charge, Start and Stop the Nation. In mid-pack, Maximum Skepticism. Further over is New Monarch with August George, and Composing is next. They're followed by Phenomenal Filly and Spinning Around and Brownstown and Geordie Bear. They've passed the halfway stage in the Goffs Million, and Dorset takes it up, being followed over on the far side by New Monarch with Composing gaining ground, and then the nose banded August George and Phenomenal Filly and Green Sense next, then Take Charge Star, followed then by Listen to the Wind Blow and Take a Win, and it's Dorset and Composing, the stable companions. Gone between them is August George. Over on the far side is New Monarch. They're well inside the final furlong, and it's Dorset and Jack Cleary who have it as they run up to the finish. It's Dorset's Goffs Million. Second is August George, Composing third, and then comes New Monarch.
Very interesting race there,
back
I
of the
thought.
stores and open the gate.
The Goffs Million, they're not hanging about here, are they? I don't know what's going on there, but we'll close that down. I thought that was a pretty impressive performance from Dorset. You can see that the horse was quite an experienced horse by this stage, I would say, and I think he put his experience to good use in that race. It was his 5th start, and I thought the horse travelled very nicely into the race. I think jockey Jack Cleary would have preferred a toe into the race than a bit further than what he got. So the horse Dorset was rather left in front earlier than I think he would have liked. But then I thought the grey plugged on well. And at no stage in the final closing stages did I think the horse was going to lose that race. And I thought he ran out a comfortable 1 1/4 length victory on the day over August George. But I thought that was a good performance, albeit in a non-pattern race, from a horse that had been beaten in 2 pattern races. You know, to take out Europe's richest two-year-old sales race takes some doing, I think. And I thought that was a good performance by Dorset on the day. It was then around 3 or 4 weeks' time that Dorset turned up again in a pattern race, and his first race at Leopardstown in his career, where he contested the Group 3 Killervullen Stakes on the 18th of October 2025. Again, ridden by Jack Cleary, Dorset went off at a shorter price this time, but I know not the favourite. And he managed to take out this race in good style. He managed to take out the race anyway. We won't say in good style because we haven't seen it yet. So without further ado, let's take a look at the Group 3 Killervullen Stakes at Leopardstown and see what we think. Excuse me.
Thereof, the Killervullen Stakes, Group 3 Juvenile, over 7 furlongs. It is Dorset the Grey just edging it from Spangled Sands, followed in third by Moon. Then the filly Yaupan to Replay in company with Daytona at the back end of the field. Dorset and Jack Cleary stride on by 2 lengths to Spangled Sands and Declan MacDonald, then Moon and Shamie Heffernan in third. Daytona, Roland Whelan relegate to be 5th of the 5, Yaupan to Replay and Chris Hayes. Dorset leads the way to Spangled Sands, Moon, Daytona and Yaupan to Replay. So just outside the halfway stage in the Killervullen Stakes, it's Dorset with a reduced advantage over Spangled Sands. Third is Moon, who he's been from the Off of the race, and then Daytona and Yaupan the replays. They tighten, less than 3 furlongs to go. It's Dorset by a length and a half. Spangled Sands pushed along second, and Moon also ridden, tracked in by Daytona and Yaupan the replay. Passing the 2, it's Dorset kicking from the front, followed by Daytona. Spangled Sands, Yaupan the replay, and knocked back to last is Moon. It's Dorset out in front from Daytona, who's trying to close at his stable companion, then Spangled Sands and Yaupan the replay. It's Dorset in front by less than 2 lengths to Daytona as they close in on the line. A treble to remember for Jack Cleary. 5 out of 5 for Aidan O'Brien. Quite staggering second.
Good performance, I thought that was. You're seeing that. No, cancel that. Didn't want to do that. You're seeing here, nearly shut down them without saving the video. That's unusual. What I've got to do is go to that first and then close down the tab. That was nearly a beginner's mistake. What we're seeing here with this horse, Dorset, I think, is this horse is very comfortable making the run-in. You know, whether this horse is booked in for pacemaking duties or not remains to be seen. But I thought that was a good performance from Dorset in the Group 3 Killervullen Stakes to see off all the rivals from start to finish. As soon as the tapes went up, the horse was off, weren't it? I think what we're seeing now is a very straightforward horse who's had plenty of run-ins. It just remains to be seen where the limitations of the horse are, doesn't it, really? The horse is a Group 3 winner and a National Stakes 5th. But I don't know, it could be argued after watching this video, because we are nearly finished with it, after looking at the pedigree of the horse and the form, it could be argued that this horse, in the final analysis, slightly falls short in both regards, doesn't he? You know, we would have liked to have seen more good horses related to him, both historically, and we would have liked to have seen more classic winners related to him. And obviously, we would have preferred his form to be a bit better. I thought there he was always holding his stablemate Daytona in that race, wasn't he? I don't think there was at any point that I thought Daytona was going to reach Dorset and win the Killervullen Stakes. So the horse is, like I said, a Group 3 winner. But unfortunately, he did lose at the same level when 7th on his comeback this season. But he's got Christophe Soumillon on board. He did the magic for Coolmore on several occasions last season when Ryan Moore was injured. And I should imagine that now this horse has got the Classic Watch 26 Possibles video that I was always looking to do on this line, because I've known that since winter ran my identification of horses has improved. But now we've had a good proper look at this section of 15A. We know where we stand with it. And it remains to be seen whether Dorset is good enough to make his mark felt in any classics. But one thing's for certain, now the video's been made, if he does turn up in a classic like he could do this weekend at Longchamp or in future at the Curragh, the horse, don't forget, is entered in both the Irish Guineas and the Irish Derby still, and there's St Ledgers to come after that as well, then there is a good chance that this horse Dorset will make his way on to classicwatch26.great/site.net. But I do think it's fair to say that the site probably has had stronger contenders in its time. Right, I think I can think about leaving this video here now. Thank you very much to everyone who sat with me while I made it. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. What I can do at the end of this video is I can leave a playlist to all the Classic Watch 26 Possibles at the end of this video. That way, if you want to see more of the Classic Watch Possibles, every single horse involved in the process has got its own YouTube video on the channel. So, and they are all nicely organised in a playlist for you. So head over to that playlist after this video if you like. And what else I can offer you is an opportunity to subscribe to the channel. That way, if you do a little bit of work with your notifications, you can get YouTube to notify you every time I upload a video, either via email or in-app or in-browser notifications. It's just loading YouTube and the notification is there. And it's just a matter of clicking on the video. I've been told you have to do a little bit of work with your notifications, but the people that have asked me about it are confirming that they are getting the videos, so it does work. So why not head over to YouTube after that and subscribe to the channel? That way you will not miss any more of my content moving forward. But I think I can leave this video here now, it's fair to say. Thank you very much to everybody for taking the time to watch it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. I hope you all have a fantastic time this weekend doing whatever you enjoy doing. And take care of yourselves and each other as well. Not really much happening in the UK and Ireland today. It's all roads lead ahead to York next week, really. And the Premier UK Derby trial, the Group 2 Dante Stakes. But classic action tomorrow in France. But for now, I think I'm going to think about leaving this video here. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Look after yourselves and your loved ones. And I hope to be back soon at some point to take a look at some more horses. But for now, I will bid you farewell. Take care, everybody, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.